Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to our fourth session that is about demonstration of solution of real cases that can be found in Excel competitions, right? So actually, I started 2 minutes earlier, but anyway, um, I will wait for a while, just wait for others to join, and then we'll just go on. Okay, I hope in a couple of seconds we are going to start demonstration of our just file solution. Um, just I would like to give some information about the previous sessions. In previous three sessions, I demonstrated the solution of bonus questions, but today I'm going to do something vice versa. That means I'm going to demonstrate the level, roughly 7 level questions. And most probably, I'm going to organize one more session where I will demonstrate bonus question demonstration, right? So now it's time. Let's get started. First of all, I'm going to just share my screen. So, yes, before getting started, I also would like to let you know that I have shared the link for solution file. So it means that you can use that file or you can go on with me. I mean, you can do the solution like I'm doing. We can do it together. Okay. So this is my file. And this case has been appeared in, I hope, third or second round of Excel competitions organized by Azerbaijan local chapter, right? So here, everything is about finding, you know, treasure, treasure. So it means that we have treasure map, and starting point is 41. Here we have the local, unique list of arrow list. And here we have, just say a description of this, treasure hunt. So actually, if you read this, you will understand that it's better to leave these bonus questions for the end, and then better to start with level questions. As soon as we find the necessary answers, so these bonus questions will be easier. However, I would like to start with just a demonstration of with one bonus question. Just I would like to let you or to inform you that to make you sure that it's very important to be familiar with the necessary set of tips and tricks during this solution, right? So it's very important. Okay. So for example, here it says that what game number is the 10th spot on the treasure hunt? Note, game 41 is the first spot. Provide your answer as the number only, right? And if we pay attention to the second question, bonus question, it's the same, but here it asks us to find the 25th spot, right? And everything is here in these bonus questions is related to levels 3 through 7. Okay, so just to find this question, what I'm just going to do, I'm going to treasure map, right? Okay, so in treasure map, my starting point is 41. I'm coming back to case worksheet and I'm finding my 41st game. So let's read the condition for this question, level 3. It says that what's the x's direction in the provided list? Example, support down arrow is the 14th direction in the list, right? So what does it mean? For example, here number is shown, right? Okay, I hope, yeah, I hope I have shared my screen. I don't know. Okay, yeah, it's shared. Okay, sorry. So and here we have set of arrows, right? So for example, I have to find the arrow. So just I can use a very simple uh, say formula just to find that arrow. So okay, so what I'm just going to do, and it's under level 3, right? So I'm going to say that, for example, let's type all of them. So I'm selecting everything and say equals. I'm going to use mid function. Then I'm going to select this one, comma. I'm going to select the number one, G 121, and say for number of characters 1. Closing parentheses and control enter. And thus I'm getting the necessary, answer like arrow. So it means that this arrow to up row and in diagonal format. So I'm coming here, this is 41. So it means in this direction, right? In this direction. Sorry, Control Z, in this direction, right? Here. Okay. So let me delete and close that one. So it means that I'm coming here, which means 45, right? So 45. I'm going back once again to 45th game. Here I see this arrow again. So it means that I'm coming here. So which means 93. If I can come here to 93rd game, it's in level 5 where it says that which direction has the largest sum of the position in the list. So it takes some of time, but anyway, let's solve this problem. So for example, if we would like to solve this problem, let's make a copy. So I'm going to say level 5, right? And level 5. So just pay attention. If we come here, we have made only 3 steps, right? And for fourth step, we are going to do this one. So it takes a lot of time. So now I will solve this, but that was the purpose of leaving bonus questions blank and go on with the other ones, right? So let's solve that one. So here, first of all, we have to split all these icons, right? So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to say here, for example, say arrows, right? Positions, and I'm going to say unique, right? So for this purpose, what I do is just entering one formula. So here for arrows, actually what we can do, let's move it up. For example, let's say that meet, and I'm going to select this one, right? G185. So I have to be sure that I have done this correctly. Okay, so let's go back. Here I have to find this one, 93, right? So this is 93. Okay, just this one. Okay. But I'm starting from here. Let's go. Okay, good. So I say meet, and I'm referring to here. Then I'm going to use sequence function. My number of rows is going to be defined by length function. So I'm going to select it once again and say one, closing parenthesis, enter. And thus I'm getting all the, splits just down. I mean, split in vertical format, right? So, but I'm interested in, in this one, 100, 97. So if I change everything here to 197, let's say 197, I'm getting the correct answer, right? So here I have to define each a row's position. So for this purpose, I'm going to start my formula with sequence and say len, and I'm going to say G197 and enter. So I'm getting the necessary position numbers, right? And here, okay, so let me, yeah. Uh, I'm going to get list of unique list of my arrows in horizontal way. So if I say unique, and if I select this one, so I'm getting this kind of stuff. If I add transpose, right, and I'm getting this list. Now, what I'm just going to do, for example, for this arrow in R184, I'm going to find its position numbers in vertical order, right? So for this purpose, I'm going to use filter function. My array is going to be, my positions. And for include, I say that my arrows, this one, must be equal to this one. And here I have to be very careful, right? Why? Because first of all, I have to, fix this one for my column and also for this one. And here I'm going to fix my only rows. Enter. You see? And if I do something like this, and I'm getting these, answers. So let's center the values. And yes, I hope I have not done. Yeah, now everything will be okay. If I say, yeah, yeah, that's okay. So what I'm just going to do here, I'm going to use Alt Enter, and you see, and here I found that 127 is the largest number, right? This one, and this is my next arrow. So I'm coming to treasure map and say that I go back to the right. on the same level, right? So I have to come here. And then I have to go to case study and I have to find, in level 7, this one. And here, other conditions. So actually, this is very time consuming and this cannot be the best solution. So for best solution, in this case, we have to, it's better to provide the answers for levels questions. And then we can come up here that we are going to do it in our upcoming session. But today, I'm going to answer to all level, questions, right? So let's get started. So first level question, it says that what game number is in the provided cell under treasure map tab? So it means that, for example, car 4. So in treasure map, this is car 4. For example, 138, right? So here we have to get this number. It's very straightforward. What I'm trying to tell you with this is that we can use indirect or indirect function to get this number. So I'm just my referring text is going to be in treasure map. And here I say ampersand going back to case and I'm selecting this, G57. So there is a standard to use this function. For example, here I'm going to add closing double quotes. And here for reference text, I'm going to add opening, uh, double quote and closing parenthesis, enter. And I'm getting this answer. So if I populate other one, just using F2 after selecting, of course, all the cells and pressing Control Enter, I'm getting all the necessary answers for the questions, level 1 question. So this is my answer. So what I'm just going to do here, I'm going to type formula text and we can see the content of this, function. So let's go with level question 2. And it's also very easy one. So what is said here? It says that what game number is in the direction from the provided cell on the treasure map. So for example, this is our cell and this is our direction. So for example, here in H7, so if we go H7, this is H7, 110, right? So the direction is, the answer is, so we find this cell and then we use this direction and we can find this number. So diagonally, this is the next point. So how to solve this issue? Uh, so it's also very easy. And let's do this. But here also, what I would like to demonstrate is that it's actually we have to be ready for this kind of stuff. First of all, if we can come here, we can see all arrow list. Just we can, copy this one. For example, let's say, yes. So, okay. So these are our arrows, right? These are our arrows. Okay. Doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. So not big issue. So actually, I would like to do it. So I hope it will work. So these are our arrow list. But also what we can do, for example, we can use a simple unique function. Let's say unique. And if I select all of these, right, I can get the unique values. But however, here, uh, one of the arrows is leaving. I think this one, right? So this is the reason I'm not using unique function. Instead, I'm using this all the unique list of arrows, right? So that's it. Then what I'm just going to do here, I'm going to uh, define my row and column direction. So this is the just next step. So for example, it means that the same direction up, back. So it means that -1, right? For example, this one is going to be uh, down. It's going to be, let's say, uh, 1, right? So we go forward, right? So this means just 0. And also this means 0. But diagonally up means -1, right? And diagonally right, so also means -1. Diagonally bottom will make 1, and this also is going to be, 1. So if we see this direction, it means that it takes us back by row. Regarding column, for example, up 1 is 0, right? So because we are in the same column, it's go just up by row. And regarding this one, bottom one is also, it's going to be 0. To the left, it's going to be -1. We go back. To the right, it's just going to be 1. Diagonally left, it's going to be -1. Right, it's going to be +1, right? And also, diagonally left down, it's going to be -1. And to the right, diagonally, it's going to be 1. So this is the movement, right? So here, what I can use Unicode. Now you will understand the purpose of Unicode. So if I say Unicode, and let me select this one, and we'll get all the necessary, numbers, codes of, codes for these arrows, right? And for example, let's use unichar. If I say, for example, unichar, and if I take this Unicode, I will get this icon, for example, the same, right? And when we have Unicode numbers, so it's easier to build the necessary, just function. For example, what I'm just going to do, now you will understand me. I'm just going to show you how everything is going to be done. But once again, it's better to write all these lambdas under formulas and name manager. So just type all of them, because during the real exam, it's possible for you to use all of them, right? Okay, good. So let's just do it once again. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to enlarge this one, right? And I'm going to use let function. So Alt Enter, I say that, right? Um, I sorry. Okay. So let's come here. So I'm saying that equal let opening parenthesis alt enter. So R, this is for row. I'm going to use switch function, opening parenthesis, and alt enter. So here I'm going to use unichar, right? And I'm selecting this one. For example, Unicode's one. And I'm fixing them, F4. Closing parenthesis, comma. If it's the case, Then select this one, row one, and F4, right? So what I can do, depending on the person, it can be, changeable. But what I'm just going to do, I'm going to, you know, uh, copy this one and Control V, Alt Enter, Control V. I'm going to do this one for 8 times, right? Control V, Control V, Control V, and Control V. So let's count 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, right? Okay, perfect. So here, just I'm going to change the numbers, say 90 and 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, and 96, right? So here, the same 90, 91, okay, 92, 93, and 94, 95, and 96. Okay, so I did this one, right? Then I'm going to, write the other part. So what I'm just going to do, I say Alt Enter, right? So yes. Okay, let me, yeah. So let me close that one and say comma, Alt Enter. This time I'm going to type C and switch. Actually, what I can do, I'm going to copy this one, Control C, and let's go down. And here, Control V. But we have to, if we go to, go back to our, list column, here we have to change car with L. That's it. So I'm going to only change this car. I hope there are a lot of ways to do so. However, uh, let's say L, and that's it. So now what we can do, let's say, um, um, okay, so here, actually, yeah, so control, oh, now I'm going to make a copy, just I showed you how everything is done. Then we are going to add, just offset function. So this, okay, got it. So here, just pay attention, car, right? And let me copy this one once again. This is R. It's a little bit painful. So it's always better just to do this, in something different way. So we have to follow the different ways, right? So okay. So let me make it a little bit bigger. So you see, okay, let me, yeah, that's okay. So here, offset, indirect, treasure map, and this is my, the rest of my formula. So offset using indirect function starts with this point and considering this row and column, it find me the necessary, direction. Okay. So here, actually, we don't get, we don't see anything. It's very obvious. Now, I'm going to write it once again, and I hope we'll see the necessary answers. So let me make it a little bigger. So here I'm, getting all the necessary, answers, right? Okay, great. So enter. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to populate these four other cells, F2, and control enter. Thus, I'm getting the answers for, level 2. So let's go with level 3. So here, just pay attention. Actually, I have provided the answers. So what I'm just going to do, I'm going to delete this one. Just I'm going to show once again. So here, it's asked to find the x direction in the provided list, right? So here, for example, we have set of arrows and it wants us to find the ninth position. So it's also very, straightforward. We can use just simple, let me select all of them first of all and say equals meet. And then let's select this one, the starting point of arrows, comma, let me select this one and say 1, closing parentheses and enter. Thus, I'm getting the necessary answers. So it's very, really easier, although it's mentioned as medium, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's also easier. So 3 easy level, level questions. And here, the medium one, what is the most frequent direction in the provided list? For example, this one, bottom or below arrow is repeated for 7 times. So this is level 4 question. So how can we solve this question? First of all, as we did in previous ones, um, I'm just going to, split all the necessary, say, arrows in transposed way. So what does it mean? It means that if I come here, say transpose, and I'm going to use meet function, and I'm going to select this one. So it's my starting point, comma, I'm going to use sequence. Actually, I have used this pattern for many times, and then I'm going to use length just to define the number of rows in the selected cell. So once again, I'm coming here, closing parentheses and say 1 and enter. Thus, I'm getting, this just list, right? So after typing this, so what I'm just going to do, I'm going to populate it for other cells. So this is what I'm just going to get. And now I can use one formula to get the necessary, just answers, right? So of course, I can use the, say, let function here. This is for right. So I say let, and let me make it bigger. So here, Alt Enter, let's say, let's get our unique values. So unique. And my array is going to be from here and slash, closing parentheses, comma, Alt Enter. Then I'm going to define my name like C for countif, and also I'm going to select this one and slash, and my criteria is going to be, unique values, comma, Alt Enter, and then I'm going to use just XLOOKUP, saying, just finding my max value. So here I'm going to define my countif, comma, sometimes it happens, so it's better not to use this C. From the second time, it works well. Then C, countif, and unique values, right? And Alt Enter and Enter. Thus, I'm getting this, just most frequently repeated arrow. Control Enter, right? So this is the answer for level 4. And now let's solve this level 5 question. Here, let me close the other one. It says that, okay, it says that which direction has the largest sum of the positions in the list? So, for example, each arrow has its position. For example, we first split the arrows and find each arrow's position, different position, and sum them. And then we found the maximum number. Thus, we defined the direction that has the largest sum of position in the list. It's very straightforward. So what we can do, for example, let's select this one. And we can use just let function. Alt Enter. I'm going to say array A. So then meet, we have used also this one. And let me select this one, comma, sequence. We should know, we should remember this pattern because we have used it for many times. And let's select once again. And one, closing parenthesis, comma, alt, enter. Then we are going to define our name 2 for unique list of arrows. So unique and A, closing parenthesis, comma, alt, enter. Then I'm going to define my position number. So here I'm going to use sequence, length, and let's use this one, comma, and here we are going to define new name like S for sum. And here I'm going to use map function. This is the most important one. So in my first video, I talked about map function and I mentioned that map is just gives us the running total. I hope you also remember it, and it goes through every step, every row, right? So here, my map is starting with my unique list of values, so U, and then I'm going to write my lambda, saying that for map function, I'm going to define my rows like X, right? So, so I'm going to type sum. So also I'm going to use filter function. Filter function will, say that in my positions array, if my array equals to X row in my lambda, is my parameter, closing parenthesis. Okay, I'm closing the map function, comma, alt enter. Then I'm going to use xlookup, saying that my maximum sum is in my sum array, and just it's going to be my lookup array, and my return array is going to be my unique list, right? Closing parentheses and enter. So I find that data row is repeated most frequently. So let me also just type. Actually, I forgot type formula text for other ones. Doesn't make a sense. How? So let's type once again formula text. Yeah, this is my formula, right? Now let's go with our level question 6. It says that which direction has the largest product of position? So the same stuff, what I'm just going to do here, I'm going to make a copy, Control A, Control C, escape. I'm coming back here and Control V. What I'm going to change is the number. First of all, it's going to be G217, right? Is my first change. Okay, and let's do it also here. Just a minute. So, okay. So, let's also change it here to 17. And here, instead of S, I'm going to say product, right? And my map is U, lambda is this one. Instead of sum, I'm going to say product. Product is a function, and that's all. And say commit. So here I have my mistake. So let's find that mistake. I hope we'll solve this. So actually, it's yes, this number. So it's going to be this, yeah. So let's say once again. So let A meet this one sequence len and G217, and this is correct. And then our unique values, MP sequence, which is correct. Then PR, I'm going to use map unique values, lambda X. So here X, yeah, and product. After product filter, P A equals to X. Okay. So yes, this is the mistake. Instead of S, we have to use PR. And I hope here also we are going to use PR. I hope it will work now. Yes, it works now. So let me populate for other cells. Enter. So this is set of our answers. Now we have left only the last level 7 question. So here it says that which direction had the longest consecutive streak in the list. So it means that, for example, down arrow consecutively has repeated for 3 times. No other arrow has been repeated more than 3 times. So we have to find it for other ones also. So let's solve this problem. Okay, so here also I'm just going to use lambda function. What I'm just going to do, I'm going to copy this formula. Actually, you see, these are the same. So it saves our time. But here, I'm just going to make some changes. Actually, first of all, it's going to be start with 249. 249, that's it. And then I'm going to get the unique list of my values, arrows. And here I don't need these position numbers. I'm not interested in it. So here I'm going to get sum because I have to find the sum of repeats, right? Just to define the maximum number. So here I'm going to use my map function to go through each row. So this is going to be in my unique list of values, lambda, and then x for each row. This is my parameter. And instead of product, I'm just going to, delete all of them. I'm going to use maximum function, and then I can, scan. I use scan function. The purpose of scan function here is just to, if there are more than, for example, more than one arrow repeated consecutively, so scan function is going to find it 0. The next one is going to be 1. The next one is going to be 2. So this is the purpose of scan function of usage here. So scan, my initial value is going to be 0. And for value, I'm going to select my splitted array, which is A, comma. Also, I'm going to use, once again, lambda function, saying that A and B are going to be my parameters, and say if A is okay, my initial value, right? And the B, the second parameter, if it's equals to X, that is in this lambda, that map function is going through, okay? Then my initial value A plus 1. Otherwise, if that arrow is not repeated, in this case, it's going to be, just say 0 resets. So I'm closing the map function. Then I'm going with xlookup. Here I'm going to change it to S. And PR is also going to be changed to S. And I hope, yeah, it's okay. So say enter, and thus I'm getting the necessary, answers. So we just can, check the others. So this is what I'm getting at the end of the day. So thus I solved all the 7-level questions. In upcoming session, I will solve these 5, bonus questions. So here I'm going to stop sharing. If you have any, question, so you can just type your questions. I'm going to type my email address here in chat box, ilgars@gmail.com. Okay, so also, I would like to take an opportunity to let you know that I'm organizing Excel courses for beginner level, for intermediate and advanced level. Also, other courses like Power BI, intermediate and beginner level, plus PL 300, Power BI Data Analysis Straight Exam, PowerPoint, Power Query, Microsoft Word, Power Pivot, prompt writing courses. So so if you would like to, participate, you can just are required to, um, fill the link. So I'm going to share that link with you also. So this is the link, and then we can just organize the necessary courses with you. So this brings us to the end of our session. Thank you very much. See you in upcoming sessions. Thank you.